You wrote recently a thought-provoking title article, "Can the Arab World Live with the Iran Nuclear Deal?" So I throw the question back to you in welcoming you. Can the Arab world live with the Iran nuclear deal?
Well, I think the answer is that some parts of it can live with that deal very handily. Others have some problems with it. I think when we think of the Arab world in the United States, we tend to think of the Gulf Cooperation Council states, the Gulf oil monarchies, who are often neighbors of Iran or just across the Gulf from them, and who have been more cautious, sometimes vocal, in being critical of Iran's nuclear enrichment program. But if you take the 22 states of the Arab League, well, it becomes clear that the Arab world is quite divided on these issues. First of all, we don't think of it this way, but there are several countries in the Arab world that are allied with Iran. And this is true of Iraq, of Syria, of Lebanon, all of whom expressed delight at the program. And I figure you're talking about on the order of 60 million people in the Arab world right there. And then the independent nationalist Arab states, ones who are not close to Saudi Arabia. Sometimes they have a leftist Arab nationalist background. Algeria, for example, was optimistic, as was Tunisia, the only of the Arab Spring states that's had a relatively successful democratic transition. If one means, can Saudi Arabia live with this deal? That's a very different question than the Arab world in general. And so I think the attitudes are quite diverse. Even within the Gulf Cooperation Council, one of the major members of the six is Oman, which has played a role in mediating between the United States and Iran, and which expressed itself very positively about this deal. So Saudi Arabia, Qatar, some others sort of issued communiques saying that they welcomed that there was this framework and they're hopeful where it would go and so forth. They're obviously hedging their bets. But in the region in general, I think what Tunisia said was that any framework that allows for peace rather than war would be a great good thing for the Middle East.